Hi students, good morning. Today we are talking about chemical bonding and molecular structure. So this is the continuation class. Students, here up to in this session we have covered that only 2 to 3 concepts. Now first of all we have covered that introduction of that chemical bonding, types of chemical bonding, and energy lowering of energy, stability of atoms, and next after completion of those things next we have covered that octet rule also. Okay students, so here in yesterday we have completed about that ionic bond formation. So first of all, in that ionic bond formation, what are the most important things and what are the most important properties, and next one is the favorable conditions for that ionic bond formation. Okay students, now here favorable conditions for the ionic bond formations. First, now which examples can justify the ionic bond definition? So here you should take that NaCl compound. Okay, students. And next one is the MgCl2 compound. Okay. And next one is that NaS2 compound. And next one is the K3P type of compound. Okay, students. And next one is the of now that is a CaCl2 compound, and you should take that AlCl3 compound. Okay. Now here what happens here? Now that means Na plus ion and Cl minus ion. So its number of electrons in the outermost are 8. Now here also same 8 electrons. Okay, students. Now magnesium Mg plus 2, next one the 2Cl minus ions. Okay. And now in this one it has the 8 electrons and here also 8 electrons in each atom. And here same sulfur, now that is the 2Na plus ions, and next one is the Es minus 2. Okay students. And here potassium, 3 potassium atoms plus next the phosphorus minus 3. Next one, calcium Ca plus 2, 2 chlorine atoms gets minus charge, means 8 electrons. Okay. Now in case of aluminium, Al plus 3 and 3 chlorine minus ions. Okay. Al plus 3 means 8 electrons here. Now the 8 electrons means Cl minus 8 electrons. So these are the elements. Now what we get it from this information, that means from these examples. Now here each and every atom in the, that means each and every species in the molecule, they should get a octet configuration. Now NaCl 8 electrons in the outermost orbital of losing 1 electron. Cl minus after gaining 1 electron it get that 8 electrons. So these are the examples for that ionic bond formation. Okay, now NaCl example, MgCl2 example, Na2S example, K3P example, CaCl2 example, and next one is the of AlCl3 examples. Okay, now. So these are the examples which are used. Okay, now, means which are studied in that ionic bond formation. Okay, students. So this is the exact concept to cover that ionic bond formation. So here next one is what about next one is here? Now what are the factors? That means which factors are favorable for that now ionic bond formation. Now listen here. First of all, you should take that these now that means what are the conditions. So we know about it for the favorable factors are that low ionization energy. Okay, na friends. So this is the one of the important energy. And next one is that so higher, okay, electronegativity. Okay students, lower ionization and higher electronegativity. Okay. Next one is the third one is that of low size of cation and high size of anion. Okay. Now the ionic bond is formed between that so first one is the metal element and next one is that of non-metal elements. Okay, non-metal elements. So these are the important conditions to ionic bond formation. Now this is a very important thing. It gives the complete evidence. Okay, friends. Low ionization enthalpy, high electronegativity, low size of cation, higher size of anion. Okay. Now the ionic bond is formed in between the metals and the non-metals. So ionic bond formation maintain that means greater than 1.9. So this is the electronegativity difference should be contained, or electronegativity difference should be maintained that greater than 1.9 electronegativity. Okay, students. So these are the favorable conditions for that ionic bond formation. Okay. Yesterday we have completed these things only. Now here we will talk about that now the following properties. Okay, first one is the characteristics of that ionic compounds. Okay, characteristics of that ionic compounds. First one is the crystalline compound, and next one is the solubility property, and the third property is the ionic reactions, and the fourth one is the space isomerism, and next one the isomorphism. Okay, students. So these are the properties of ionic compounds. Okay, first one is the crystalline compound. Now in case of crystalline compounds, all ionic compounds can form the crystalline in nature. All ionic compounds existing in that crystalline structure. For example, you should take that. So this one is the now what about this one here? So these are the NaCl crystal. Okay, so now these are the NaCl crystals. Or like that, you should draw like this one. So this is the very important concept. Okay, now this one is the very important concept. So these are the ionic bond formation. So central place now that means cation is cation, anion and anion like that. So each and every atom or each and every ion is surrounded by that crystalline in nature. Okay, so it's crystalline nature. For example, that means you should take the NaCl compound. Okay, and here so this one is the NaCl compound. Now here this one is the NaCl compound, and here is NaCl compound, and this is the NaCl compound. That means each and every atom is surrounded by that one positive ion and is the one negative ion. Positive ion, negative ion, positive ion, negative ion. Okay, so that means they are arranged in that crystalline in nature. Okay, crystalline character or crystalline in nature. Now in this case, actually ionic compounds does not have any direction. That means now the ionic compounds are known as non-directional, okay, bonds. Okay, that means they does not possess that any direction. So that means non-directional bonds are present in that in case of ionic compounds. Non-directional bonds are present in that ionic compound. Okay, students. And next one is the coordination bonds. So that means greater the coordination. That means in case of ionic compounds, lithium chloride, sodium chloride, potassium chloride, magnesium chloride, calcium chloride. Now these ions are always existing in the greater coordination number. That means now the its coordination number is 6.6. That means 6 is to 6. So that means Na and next the Cl atom, and Cs and Cl is the 8 is to 8. That means 8 coordination number and next the 6 coordination number. 6 coordination number means the central atom, the central metal which is surrounded by that 8 another atoms or bond atoms. So that's why now the coordination number of the ionic compounds, we start from the coordination number 4 to 8 and the 12 also. Now the some compounds having that coordination number 4, some compounds having that coordination number 6, some compounds having that coordination 8 and 10 and it's the 12. Okay, now so these are the means ionic compounds are having, ionic compounds are existing higher coordination number. They are in crystalline in nature. Okay, so it's crystalline in nature. And next one is the top solubility property. Now what about the next property here is solubility. Now once again ionic compounds are the that means crystalline and the non-directional bonds. Directional bonds are only possible in case of covalent compounds, but non-directional bonds are possible in the term of only ionic compounds. And next property is the now what about this one here, solubility property. Now here actually in case of solubility we should cover that 3 to 4 things. One is the solvation process, that means solvation energy, solvation, and next one is the hydration energy and lattice energy. Okay friends. And now that means solvation means solubility property. Hydration means now the small ions which are bound by the number of water molecules. So that is the hydration property, hydration phenomenon. And hydration is directly proportional to the top of solvation. Now the smaller ions are greater the hydration, smaller ions are the greater the solvation. Okay friends. But solvation and hydration, solvation and next the lattice energy, hydration and next to the lattice energy. Hydration and lattice phenomena is always inversely proportional. That means always opposite with each other. Greater the hydration, lesser the lattice enthalpy. Greater the solvation, lesser the lattice enthalpy. Greater the lattice enthalpy, lesser the solubility. Greater the lattice enthalpy, lesser the solubility. Lesser the solubility means lesser the hydration enthalpy. Okay, so these are the very important points to cover in this that solubility property. And one more thing here, solubility is always depends upon the nature of solute and next the solvent. Okay friends. Now the nature of solute and solvent means now the polar compounds, non-polar compounds. Now the ionic compounds are always comes under polar category. Non-ionic compounds are always comes under non-polar category. Okay friends. Ionic substances are always soluble in that ionic solvents. Non-ionic substances are always soluble in that non-ionic solvents. Okay students. Now the solubility depends upon the nature of the substance. For example, here you should take this type of compounds. Okay students. Now here this one is the NaCl compound. NaCl compound is easily dissociated into Na plus and Cl minus. So that means the ionic compounds are always, okay students. And now that means ionic substance, okay, ionic substance dissolved in okay, dissolved in, now that means the ionic solvent. Okay students, ionic solvent. And these are also known as polar substances. Ionic substances means polar substances. Ionic solvent means that is the polar solvent. Okay friends. Polar substances are dissolved with that polar solvents. Okay, ionic substances are dissolved in that ionic solvent. And next one is the non-polar substances. For example, for the non-polar substances means carbon tetrachloride, and next one is the benzene. Okay, so it's now the ether. So these type of compounds are example for the top non-polar substances. Non-polar substances are always dissolved in non-polar solvents. But here in case of solubility, okay, now that means greater the ionic character, they are ready to, that means their greater extent of solubility. Lesser the ionic character, lesser extent of solubility. Okay, students, lesser the ions, lesser will be the soluble. Now the greater the ions, greater will be the soluble in that water. Okay students, so this is the solubility of that reactions. And next one is the next one, what about the next one here? Now the ionic reactions. What is meant by ionic reaction? Okay, now that means now how to dissociate into ions in the ionic formation. Okay students. And now actually ionic reaction is, for example, you should take that Na2SO4 compound. Okay, Na2SO4 compound. Now how can this compound is dissociated here? 2 moles of Na plus and next one is the top SO4 minus 2 compound. Okay students. And you should take that MgCl2 compound. Now that one is now that is Mg plus 2 ion, and next the 2Cl minus ions. Okay students, 2Cl minus ions. And you should take the CaCl2 type of compounds. Now Ca plus 2 and next the 2Cl minus ions. Okay students. Now we should take the AlCl gives it Al plus 3, next one is the 3Cl minus ions. Okay, so these are the ionic okay, ion compounds. Now these compounds are dissociated into smaller fragments or smaller species or smaller ions. Okay, Na2SO4 dissociate into 2 moles of Na plus, next the SO4 minus, and next the MgCl2 Mg plus 2, next the 2Cl minus ions, CaCl2 Ca plus 2 2Cl minus ions. Okay, now students, AlCl3 Al plus 3, next one 3 moles of Cl minus ions. Okay, so these are the ionic compounds. Okay, students, these are the ionic compounds or ionic reactions. And next one is the space isomerism. Okay, students, space isomerism. And now that means arrangement of the atoms in a space are okay. Now that means in a space around the molecule. Now that is called as space isomerism. Okay, students, space isomerism. For example, you should take that CuSO4. Okay, students, CuSO4. Now actually CuSO4 is the SO4 minus. Of course, here the simple thing. Don't write that any coefficients. Now here CuSO4. So here CuSO4 means plus 2 and next is the minus. Okay, students. For example, you should take that ammonia. Okay, Cu NH3 taken 6 times or 6 times, and next one is the SO4 minus 2. So here what happens here? Now the copper is the central element which is bound by that 6 ligands, NH3 groups. Okay, students, 6 ligands. Now here if you take the copper, one ligand, another ligand. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one is the NH3 group, and here also NH3 group. Now here also NH3 group, and NH3. Okay, NH3 and NH3. Okay, so these are the groups, NH3 group. Now around this one, now we are getting that SO4. Okay, students. Now this is the Cu plus 2 and this is the SO4 minus. Okay, so this is the ionic compound. That means now the space isomerism. Okay, students, space isomerism. The atoms, the molecules, the ions which are surround that around the central metal or ion. Okay, now central ion, it may be central metal. Around the central metal, number of bond atoms are bound to that central element. And now in a space, now that is called as space isomerism. Okay, students, space isomerism. Now next one is that of isomorphism. Okay, students, isomorphism. Now the isomorphism means in case of isomorphism, the molecular formula in a compound, the compounds are having the same number of elements. The compounds are having the same number of atoms in that one. Now such type of molecules are called as isomorphism compound. Okay, students, isomorphism compound. For example, you should take that. Now here you should write the ZnSO4, 7 moles of water. Okay, students, 7 moles of water. And next one is the MgSO4, and here also 7 moles of water. Okay, students. Now this one is the Zn plus 2 SO4 minus 2, Mg plus 2, okay, SO4 minus 2. Now the both are having that same number of metals and it's the same number of charged ions. Okay, students. ZnSO4, zinc sulfide, magnesium sulfide, single metal SO4, single metal SO4. Okay, students. But at the same time, both are having the same number of hydrated molecules. Okay, students. Same number of hydrated molecules. Now here, how many number of water molecules are present in case of this one here? 7 moles of H2SO4, H2O molecule. Now in case of magnesium sulfate, here also same, it is having that 7 moles of water. So the molecules which are having the same number of atoms and same number of ions, now that is called as isomorphism. Okay, friends, isomorphism. And now here we have the example zinc sulfate 7H2O, and next one is the MgSO4 7H2O. Okay, students, and you should take that number of electrons. That means if the number of electrons are also having the same, now those electrons are called as that. Now that means isoelectronic spaces. Okay, students, isoelectronic spaces. Now here isoelectronic spaces means, for example, I will write one type of molecule. Now here N minus 3. Okay, students, O minus 2, and it's the F minus and it's the Ne. Okay. Now here already you know that one. Now that means actually now the 7 is the atomic number of nitrogen plus it add that 3 electrons gives rise to the top 10 electrons. Okay, students. Now here you should go this one oxygen. Oxygen atomic number 8 plus it add the 2 electrons gives rise to number of electrons of this of the okay. And here now in case of fluorine, now the fluorine means 9 electrons but it gain 1 electron. Now this is the 10 electrons are present. In case of neon, okay students, now these are the 10 electrons. Now tell me what is the relation here? Nitrogen N minus 3 ion, oxygen O minus 2 ion, F minus ion, Ne neon. Okay. Now actually the atomic number of nitrogen is 7, atomic number of oxygen is 8, atomic number of fluorine is 9. But here if you add the 3 electrons now which is equal to the top 10 electrons. Okay student. Now oxygen it has the atomic number 8 plus added 2 electrons now equal to the top 10 electrons. Okay students. Fluorine now the atomic number 9, if you add the 1 electron now that is equal to the top 10 electrons. Neon 10 electrons. Okay, that means these type of ions are called as that isoelectronic species. Okay students, isoelectronic species. Now the isoelectronic species means the ions which are having the same number of electrons, but actually each and every atom having that different atomic number, but the finally minus charge, so that is N minus 3, O minus 2, F minus 1 neutral atom, but both are having ultimately 10 electrons, 10 electrons, 10 electrons, the 10 electrons. Okay students, so these are the compounds are having the same number of electrons is called as isoelectronic species. Now we should take this one is the CO minus 20, okay, and it's the NO. Now what happens here? Now the both compounds are having the same number of atoms. In this compound carbon and oxygen, in this compound nitrogen and oxygen. So such type of compounds are called as isomorphism. Okay, in a compound, okay, the molecule in a compound which has same number of atoms. Okay, now that is called as isomorphism. Just now we saw, now in case of MgSO4 7H2O, ZnSO4 7H2O, now the zinc sulfate, magnesium sulfate both are having the same number of water molecules. Now these are called as that. Okay students, what about that? Now these are called as that isomorphism. Okay, now the definition is the isomorphism. Iso means same, morphism means arrangement of the atoms or molecules. Okay, now this is the I hope now this is complete statements about that. Now these are the characteristics of that ionic compound. Okay, students. Yesterday we have prepared that we saw different type of molecule. First of all, ionic bond formation, transfer of electrons. Okay, examples: NaCl, MgCl2, CaCl2. Okay, K3P. Okay, students. Now that means now these are the examples. And next one, the what are the factors factors favorable for the formation of the ionic bond formation. Okay students, now just we saw in yesterday class low ionization enthalpy, okay, now greater electronegativity charge, and next the now that means the electronegativity difference is greater than the top of 1.9. Okay, now the eligible atoms are the cations and the anions, metals and the non-metals, smaller size of cations, greater size of anions, and greater smaller size of anions, greater size of cations. Okay students, now next one is the it should maintain that okay, now the ionic in nature. Okay, and these are the conditions, these are the conditions to favor that ionic bond formation. Now just now we saw now these are the characteristics properties of the ionic compound. Okay, in the characteristics properties, first one the crystalline. Okay, next one non-directional bonds, and next one directional bonds, crystalline nature. Okay students, especially ionic compounds are the non-directional bonds, and you see that in case of crystalline compounds, now you that means you study that coordination number also. That means coordination number means now the number of atoms are bound to the central atom. number of atoms are bonded to the central atom. Number of atoms are attached to that central atom, that is the coordination number. So greater the coordination number, okay, in case of ionic compounds, the maximum of the compounds are in that crystalline, they are having that high coordination number. We saw in our intermediate level, that means in our plus 1 plus 2 level, okay, 6 coordination number 6, coordination number 8, coordination number 10, and is the coordination number 12 species containing molecules. And next one is the solubility property. So depends upon the polar and next non-polar nature. Okay, na ionic reactions. So ionic reaction means how to these molecules dissociate into as ions. Okay, students. Now just now we some and space that means space isomerism. Okay, students. Isomerism. So isomerism is the molecule having the same molecular formula but which ranges in that different structural formula. Okay, students. So that is the isomerism. And next one is the isomorphism. Okay, now. So in case of isomorphism, just now we saw K2SO4 and now here in case of isomorphism, I will give the another examples also. So this is the K2SO4. Okay, students, K2SO4. And here next one is the K2, okay, now CrO4. Now look at the board. Now the K2 means 2 potassium atoms are present. So this one the sulfur, and here it has that 4 oxygen atoms. So 2 potassium atoms, chromium present, and it's not okay now O4. Okay, students. So these are the isomorphism compounds. Okay, students, isomorphism compound. And now you should take that now this one is the MgCl2 and CaCl2. Okay, now. So it is also example for that isomorphism. One metal atom is present, 2 bonded chlorine atoms. One metal atom is present, 2 chlorine atoms are present. Okay, students. Now such type of molecules are the example for that of isomorphism compound. Okay, students. And if you take the different type of examples, K2S and the KCl next in the CaCl. Okay, K2S, that means K2S means here. And now this one, each potassium, okay students, each potassium plus S minus 2. So each potassium having that 8 electrons up to here also same. Okay. Now the valence electrons 8 and here also valence electrons 8. Okay. Same number of electrons are present in this one. Okay. And in case of CaCl2 also. Okay. You should take the CaCl2 student. And now here in CaCl2 means Ca plus 2, next one there are 2 Cl minus ions. Now it has the 8 electrons in that outermost orbital, and here also each chlorine atom having that 8 electrons in that outermost orbital. Okay, so these are the properties which are that means which are studied in that characteristics of that ionic compound. Okay, characteristics of that ionic compound. So here now in this one, if anybody asks you now what is the definition, that means what is the definition for that isomorphism, what is the definition, how can you define that isoelectronic species? Okay, isomorphism, isoelectronic species. Okay, iso means same, morph means structurally, isoelectronic means same number of electrons. So that is the isoelectronic species. Okay, students. So this is the concept. Now till this class I have completed total ionic bond formation. Now I will take the class on that in next session. Now that is on that covalent bond formation and favorable factors for the formation of the covalent bonding, and next one the conditions for the ionic covalent bonding, and the general characteristics of that ionic and covalent bond formation. Okay, friends, we will see next class covalent bond formation. Okay, friends, clear.